Hello investors, how are you today? I hope you're doing well, that you're working towards your goals and they are where you wanted them to be since January this year, because we are about to end this year now. Today I want to bring you the next issue of my property investment magazine, Learn, Invest and Retire. There is lots of information here to think about, to dwell upon, to expand your mind and to make you question yourself, your training, your knowledge, and to expand that asset, your most important asset, which is the one between your ears. That's very important for you. So in this issue, we'll start with one important article, which is the myth of passive income and why it's a lie. You see, most people want to invest in property because they have this thinking that passive income is just you put your money in a property and then money starts flowing. And that's not the case. When you invest in property, you need to come into it as an entrepreneur with a mindset of solving problems and not moaning about it. Hopefully the planning stage to buy the property, and when you buy it and you plan what you're going to do with it, will prepare you for a lot of those problems. But if you're not an entrepreneur and if this is your first property, then you will come against that mindset which you need to build and you need to be developed in order to understand that business is difficult, and investing in property is a business and it's the same as any other business. It's got its problems, it needs money, it needs dealing with people, it needs dealing with deadlines, it needs dealing with regulations and authorities. Exactly the same, it will be problems. And the more advanced the strategies that you want to use, the more of those obstacles, problems, or challenges you will have. So it's very important that you read this article and you know what I'm talking about. Then we will continue with an example of how not to lose money because of a builder. This is something that happened to me, and this article contains very valuable lessons for you to understand how you need to manage a builder and how you need to do it in order to avoid that your project fails because of him or because of her or because of his or her company. You see, in property, you might not have your own builders. You might have to hire them and hire an external company. And therefore, you need to make sure they deliver on what you both agreed at the beginning of the project. So this here is an article with very important lessons for you to understand and for you to read. So when you get to the stage, you don't make the same mistakes that we've made. Then we go to something about mindset again. This issue of the magazine is all about mindset. You see, entrepreneurs, really powerful entrepreneurs, work from a different mindset than average people. And that's the fact that entrepreneurs start working from potential and not from resources. And that's the mindset I explained to you here, and I explained with examples how and why that is so important. So I recommend you also read this article. Then we go to property market views. What's happening in the market? What's happening with the interest rate? What's happening with the Bank of England? What's happening with property prices? What's the analysis? Where is it going? As a property investor, you need to know these numbers, these indexes, so when it gets to it, you know where the market is most likely to move towards. So it's a very short section, but it's focused on the most important items that you need to know to at least track the market and where it is going. Very important. We also talk about business partners and why it's so difficult. You see, I was listening to an interview to a gentleman who sells HMOs for a living in the UK. And one of the things he said stuck with me from that interview, which is most of HMOs which are built in a joint venture fail because there are problems between the business partners or among the business partners if there are more than two. And therefore, knowing who you're going to partner with, knowing who you're going to be working with, because effectively you buy a house, and if it's a HMO to rent, not to sell, then what you're going to end up doing is you're going to have a partner, business partner for many years, and then things need to be clear, things need to work, and hopefully you have the same goals for things to move in the same way they need to move, make you both happy or at least clear as to what to expect. So some lessons here to learn, some lessons to understand in case the way you're trying to finance your property is through a JV, joint venture. Then finally we move towards an example of somebody who bought a property, refurbished it was about to finish the refurbishment, and then decided to leave the property, to sell it, because he couldn't handle all the problems that appear during the building or refurbishing phase. This issue is all about mindset, as you can see, and many people think or go to property chasing the money, but the thing is they end up going against a brick wall, which is themselves and the lack of preparation, the lack of mindset to be able to get problems and then solve them. You see that the name of the game is not moaning, it's solving problems, and that's where a property renegade, as we call them in our world, in my magazine, and my property cash flow business, that's what makes a property renegade, how to solve these problems and how we do what we need to do. Very important. Finally, we talk about one of the biggest lessons I learned about money. Hopefully that's something that I can pass on to you and something that I can show you how it works, and that completes or helps you develop in the area, in the direction that you need to develop to become a property investor. Very important that you work towards that, and very important that you actually take this magazine, print it, or take your iPad, your computer, read through it, learn, ask me questions, and anything that you need to. But it's a lot of value, which at the moment is published for free, but it's all given to you so you understand how this world of property works and how things connect to each other, and especially how things depend on you, the investor, being the center of everything for them to work. So thank you very much. Any questions? info@propertycashflow.co.uk. Let me know and I'll be able to answer those questions. Thank you very much. Bye bye.